can't get my head around how much value I'm getting out of this course. I don't think you can put a price on it. I'm a voice teacher in private studio, so I work for myself, and I also work for a company called Vocalab who specializes in singing lessons overseeing by speech pathologists, which has been really fun. In my private business, I actually coach mostly worship singers. There was not a doubt in my mind that I was going to do it, because I just had so much respect for you already as a coach, and for your knowledge and the way you approached voice, but also just knowing that you were the kind of person who was thorough with your information. You gave holistic views of the way the voice worked, and I knew that if I did this, it would be a really meaty and complete kind of way of learning how to teach and way of understanding the voice. I feel like it's revolutionized the way I teach, actually. And to be honest, before I started doing Evolve, I didn't have a teaching method at all. I was grabbing from all of the different spaces that I'd learnt from, and a lot of that stuff wasn't actually fitting together super well. Some of it was, but most of it wasn't. And so Evolve has given me like this really well fit together, almost complete way of not just looking at the voice, but teaching it. So I feel like my approach is much more holistic, but it's also much more dynamic and flexible. Like I'm actually able to adapt to the student that I'm teaching. One of the biggest things I think is my teaching has switched from just a like mundane taking people through exercises and then singing songs kind of approach, and actually developed into a problem-solving approach where I'm like, we're not just doing stuff for the sake of doing it anymore. You are coming in, you are telling me what you're struggling with, and we are working through those things. Your module on emotion was actually like my foundational starting point for going, oh my gosh, this has triggered something in me that I am so excited and passionate about, and I want to delve more into it and I want to explore it more. And you've also given me heaps more resources to continue that deep dive into emotion, and it's been so helpful, especially in my line of, you know, my genre of teaching with worship singers, because worship is such a emotion driven kind of singing. It's been so helpful. Movement has been so cool, and I feel like that's been one of those learning tools that hit the spot for so many students, like because it involves a bit more of a sensory awareness, a bit more of a full body kind of involvement in singing, and obviously because it's a big part of tension release as well, and tension is so much of the problem sometimes. So movement has been one that's not just fun to play with, but actually really effective in troubleshooting. And then also acoustics. That was a really big topic, and it took me a really long time to get my head around, and I'm still getting my head around it. But again, loved the way that you explained everything. It was so thorough, and it continues to be so thorough, like in group calls and stuff. It's so interesting, and I love how it has the potential to change the voice so much. So playing with that, and also giving students tools to play with that themselves, and kind of using that body wisdom to be able to find their optimal kind of acoustic resonance is, yeah, love that aspect of it, definitely. Your program is so different. It is so, like, I still, even when I think about it, can't get my head around how much value I'm getting out of this course. I don't think you can put a price on it. But if you were, I would have thought that it would be one of those ones that you have to subscribe to ongoingly forever and ever and ever because it's that much. It's just so much stuff, and you're really generous with your time, really generous with your knowledge. But it just feels like I paid for a course, but then I got a community, and I got, you know, Q&As. I, you know, get to interact with you. You know, I have questions, and you're always willing to answer my questions. And you can tell that you are the kind of coach who actually does this for the love of helping people to grow and develop as vocal coaches. You're invested in our growth. You're invested in our personal businesses. It's been so much more than just a course for me.